Greetings and welcome to the Halloween edition of the Sliders Review. And I'm here today to talk to you about The Haunting Hour, Season 2, Episode 8, Mascot. So, this episode is bizarre. It's odd. It's peculiar. It's not necessarily scary or spooky. It's just strange. And that strangeness gives you an eerie feeling, especially when, like, you see the facial expressions of one of the main characters. It's kind of like, what exactly is going on? Is there an actual person inside the mascot costume, or is it some kind of creature and stuff? And it's like the more you get into this episode, the creepier and weirder and more peculiar it gets. But then that's when like your nerves starts to get up a little bit and you just kind of like, hey, what the world is going on here now? Something just ain't right. Something just ain't right now. And then so like you get to that twist ending. That perfect, beautiful R.L. Stine ending. And you're just like, I'm satisfied. I can sleep now. that ending twist was so good and everything. It's classic R.L. Stine. R.L. Stine is an old man. God, I'm gonna hate the day he passes and stuff. Cause that man gave us some good books, some great television series, and some pretty okay movies and stuff. I say pretty okay, cause like I've only seen the Fear Street one and the first Goosebump movie. I want to see the second one so bad, but it was on Roku TV channel thing, and then they took it off. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me! It's October. They should have kept it on there till October. Why take it off? And I'm not paying no money to watch it. Sorry, there's too many streaming sites out, and I just had my Disney Plus deactivated and stuff. So I'm only having Hulu until whenever my Thanksgiving thing is over. And so then I gotta think if I'm gonna get the bundle thing for Hulu and Disney Plus. I hope they don't like yank a bunch of shows off that thing, because I'm gonna be pissed if they do that. Like, I don't know what happened to Hulu to where they have to merge with somebody else now. That's just depressing. But on to this episode. So, Mascot. This was in season 2. Around this time, episodes was starting to not be as cool as season 1. I suspect season 1 probably freaked people out way too much, because you can see there's a certain tone shift in season 2 halfway in there. And then by 3 and 4, it just didn't do it for me no more. I just could not like any episode of season 3 and season 4. One main problem is they kept trying to give a moral lesson. I'm sorry, this is horror. You're supposed to be scared. You're supposed to be spooked. You're not supposed to give a life lesson or moral lesson in horror. Even if it's kids horror, you just ain't supposed to do that. You're supposed to be scared. That's why Goosebumps was so good. That's why a lot of people like, Are You Afraid of Dark? They didn't give you a moral lesson. And now I'm starting to see in a lot of trends and a lot of like teen horror type stuff, whether it's Creeped Out, whether it's like whatever that Beyond show is on Disney Plus by R.L. Stine. They're giving moral life lessons, and they're taking the spooky part, or they'll get you spooked at first, but then once it hits to the middle and the end, then it's completely flat. And it's just like, I don't want a moral lesson. Just make something spooky. And for the love of God, if your kid or teen is too scared from a kid's horror show, which aren't that scared, they're creepy but not that scary, then your teen either just needs to not watch that or grow a backbone. And stuff, because they're not really that scared, but you have to put yourself in the zone to get freaked out. That's why I love Goosebumps. That's why I tell people, even though if you're so old, you can still enjoy Goosebumps. You just gotta put yourself in that storytelling. But Mascot, my God. So we're at a high school, and there are these two boys. It's Willie and Drake. And your typical like buds and everything, and they realize something. Their mascot sucks. Their mascot is called Big Yellow. Not even sure what he is. He's kind of a hybrid Big Bird. What's that big purple thing from McDonald's? I forget his name. That thing, and just a whole lot of freaky, weird looking crap. Like, I don't know what the world this thing is supposed to be, but it's dirty. The costume is very dirty with stains and it's yellow, and he wears a jersey. And they don't like him at all because, see, their team isn't that great. The cheerleaders aren't that great. Nobody has any school spirit. And, mascot's supposed to give you that school spirit. His dancing is very lame. He just waves his arm around, or he'll like hop around in a circle and do this weird kind of dance. And it's just not energetic. So they don't like it. And so they want a change. And so they started thinking about the school rule books and all this other stuff. And they realized they can request to get a new mascot. So they go to like the principal, or vice principal, whatever he is. A real slob of a guy. And he's all like, yeah, just gotta get like, you have to let the current mascot know they're getting checked. And you have to go to like who's ever in charge of that stuff and do tryouts. So it's a runaround, right? Like, they're trying to find out who's in charge of hiring the mascot and stuff. They go to the coach, and he's a butthead of a coach, calling them like cheerleaders and everything like that and all kind of crap while he's working out. I think he said you have to go to like the assistant team manager person. So they go to the assistant team manager person, and he says you have to talk to the team manager. But nobody knows where he is. He disappeared one day in the bleachers at a game and stuff, and he's never been seen since. The rumor has it he owed a bunch of debt and he skipped town, but nobody knows where he's at. And so they don't really know what they can do, but they realize they can just fire the dude and stuff. So they write him a note and everything. And Willie's being kind of rude and everything. Writes him a note, put it on the door. They're being spied on, right? And so, like, this is the really first set of creepiness. But actually, your first set of creepiness is when they was talking about in the bleachers, they don't like this mascot. They need to do something. The mascot overheard them from several feet away and gave them a strange look. And his eyes got beady and stuff. When he gives those mean looks, it's freaky and scary. So when they put the note on the door, he grabbed it and just like, ripped it from under the door and stuff. And the thing is, nobody knows where he lives at. Nobody knows what the mascot's name is. What kind of school is this? But he just stays down below in this one room. So then they start doing tryouts, and they don't like the people that are trying out. But the wolf dude is actually pretty good. They like that. But then guess who wants to try out too? Big Yellow. So he comes in with his boom box and everything, and he's doing his weird little freaky dance and stuff. And so they're all like, nope, dude, sorry, you're out, you're fired, all this other stuff. We're going with Wolfie. Here come the beady eyes again. So one night, Wolfie has his mask off, and he's walking home from school late at night. And somebody is following him. It's Big Yellow. And it's very, very eerie. And so, like, he's just walking up towards him faster and faster and faster until he sees him. And then there's this like a yellow light on Wolfie's face, the person that's underneath the mask. And he screams. And then all of a sudden, that's it. We don't know where he's at no more. So then when, the next game and all this other stuff is supposed to happen. And of course, they don't have their mascot. Well, guess what happened? Willie woke up the next morning in his bed. And when he wakes up, he sees like feathers and stuff. This is an indication of Big Yellow. But he sees more than just that. He sees stuffing in his bed. The stuffing is from the mask and costume of Wolfie, as is the Wolfie head. It's a scene right out of Scarface. He screams, he hollers, he tells Drake like what happens and stuff. Like I said, it's a freaky episode. Well, at some point in time, Drake and Willie, they have an argument, right? So they're not talking to each other no more. And Willie is pissed. Ain't nobody gonna treat him like this or nothing like that, right? So like he goes down to, I think, like confront Big Yellow. And when he goes into like his room, he it's weird because like it smells really bad, right? There's nothing but yellow jerseys around. There is a driver license plate on the table, and there's something that says team manager in there. So that's kind of weird. So he sees a wallet, and in the wallet just a picture of Big Yellow. No name, no nothing. And so all of a sudden, like I can't really remember what happens after this, but like the door closes. No, wait. He hears a noise, so he goes and hide. And Big Yellow comes in. And Big Yellow walks to where he's at. And then all of a sudden, Big Yellow just starts like, like you think something really bad's gonna happen, right? He's walking closer and closer to him. And Willie's pissed scared. But then all of a sudden, Big Yellow just starts dancing. And then he leaves. He locks the door. This yellow smoke comes out the ventilation system. Don't know what it is, but he's coughing. He's trying to call that of Drake. He has to bust through the window and everything just to get out. So at some point in time, like he's still furious and he can't get a hold of Drake. And so at some point, he sees Big Yellow just sitting down by himself in the gym. He texts Drake. Still no reply. He goes over there. It's just the costume. So he starts smacking around. He sees nobody's in it. He takes off the head of the costume. He puts it down. And he's just like mad. You know what I'm saying? Then all of a sudden, the freakiest thing happens. The head of the mask is on like the bench, separated from the body. The eyes turn around and look at Willie. Then the decapitated body stands up and it just like stands and hovers over that of Willie. So by this time, Drake finally got the messages. He's freaked out. He wants to know where Willie's at. He goes to the school. The coach don't know where he's at and everything. And he's just looking for Willie. Well, there's a game out there, and Willie thinks that, no, not Willie, but Drake thinks that Willie is mad at him, so he keeps calling him, right? The game's starting, the cheerleaders out there, and Big Yellow comes out. Big Yellow's just mad for some reason. He just starts shoving the cheerleaders around, and he starts doing his dance. So then, at some point in time, Drake has saw Willie's shoe, and it had feathers in it. This is when he had started looking for him. I forgot to mention that. But he calls his cell phone again. He hears it ringing. He's looking around and he can't find where it's ringing at until he hears the location of where it's ringing. It's ringing from Big Yellow. And Big Yellow just stares him down. And the camera zooms into Big Yellow. And there we find Willie, along with Wolfie, inside the belly of Big Yellow. He's screaming, he's hollering, he says, "Let him out." This monstrous demon thing just ate him whole and everything, consumed him. It is freaky. I was not expecting that twist. My God. This is why I love R.L. Stine and his stuff, and the people who adapt his books and the people who read his books and make their own stuff. It's just good. That wasn't that spooky. Alright, well, I shall talk to y'all later. Bye.